Hello everyone, this is lecture 7 of the subject analog circuits. In this class, we are going to learn about MOSFET. You have already studied MOSFET in your devices part, electronic devices. So, firstly I am going to give you a small review of the MOSFET, then we will discuss the different biasing circuits in MOSFET. So, before studying the biasing circuits in MOSFET, you can refer the lecture 3. In that lecture 3, I had discussed the biasing techniques for BJT. Once you understand it for BJT, you can easily understand it for MOSFET. So, in this class, I am going to discuss the introduction to MOSFET, then the biasing of MOSFET amplifier. So, MOSFET stands for metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. It is a voltage control device, because the input voltage it controls the output, and it is unipolar. Your BJT is bipolar, your BJT is current control device. Unipolar means the current flows only due to electrons or holes. So, you know that in MOSFET, if there is a n channel MOSFET, then the n channel will be made up of only electrons. If it is a p channel, then it will be made up of holes. That is why it is unipolar. So, MOSFET has been categorized into two main parts, one is enhancement and another one is depletion. In enhancement type MOSFET, at VGS is equal to 0, there is no channel, but in depletion type, even at VGS equal to 0, the channel exists, there is a channel. That is why depletion type MOSFET is called normally off MOSFET, enhancement type MOSFET is called depletion type MOSFET is called normally on MOSFET. It is normally on, and your enhancement type MOSFET, it is normally off, because there is no channel at VGS equal to 0, but in depletion type there is a channel at VGS equal to 0. That is why depletion type MOSFET is called normally on. The symbol of the MOSFET is this one. I am not going in deep for that, because you have already studied these things in electronic devices, but we need to review the MOSFET, because we are going to design the circuits using MOSFET. We are going to design the analog circuit using this device that is called MOSFET. It is having 3 terminals, one is gate, drain and source. That body is internally connected to source, that is why we consider this MOSFET as a 3 terminal, because a body is shortest to source, internally connected to source, then it can be considered as a 3 terminal device. Structure of MOSFET. So, you can see that because of this structure of MOSFET, it is called MOSFET, metal oxide semiconductor. There is a metal, there is a oxide layer, there is a semiconductor. That is why it is called metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. And your source and drain is heavily doped, that is N plus. This is the structure of NMOS. In NMOS, the substrate is P type, and this NMOS will be on when we apply positive voltage at the gate terminal. In that case, the channel is induced. The voltage at which the channel is induced, that is called threshold voltage. And when your channel is induced, only then current starts flowing. That channel, it acts as a bridge between your source and drain. If there is a bridge, if there is a channel, only then electron can flow through this channel and current will flow. And then we apply the positive voltage at the drain terminal for proper operation of the MOSFET in linear region, in saturation region. This is the ID versus VGS characteristics. On x axis there is a gate to source voltage, on y axis there is a drain current. Now, you can see that if your gate to source voltage is less than threshold voltage, then your current is 0, and when your gate to source voltage it crosses the threshold voltage, then the current starts increasing. This is the drain current ID versus drain to source voltage, that is VDS. So, when VDS increases, then your ID increases, and after a certain VDS your ID becomes constant. When your ID becomes constant, that is called your saturation region. This triode region, it is also referred as linear region, fine. So, why this saturation region comes into picture? We can understand it when we increase drain to source voltage, we keeps on increasing this VDS, then after a certain VDS the channel is pinched off from the drain end. Once the channel is pinched off from the drain end, in that case if we further increase the VDS, then drain current will not change, because the channel is pinched off. So, the voltage at which the channel is pinched off, that is called pinch off voltage. And what is threshold voltage? It is the minimum voltage required to induce the channel. So, first thing is to induce the channel, to form the channel. So, to form the channel, it is very important your gate to source voltage should be greater than threshold voltage, fine. And once your channel is formed, your channel is induced, then by using different conditions we can operate the MOSFET in linear region or in saturation region. If we want to design an amplifier, then we use MOSFET in saturation region, but in BJT, that BJT works as an amplifier in active region. In MOSFET works as an amplifier in saturation region. So, the conditions for different regions of operation of NMOS is: cutoff region means your gate to source voltage is less than threshold voltage. So, it means that there is no channel, so there is no current. In linear region, your VGS minus VT, it is greater than drain to source voltage. In saturation region, your VGS minus VT, it is less than VDS. In saturation region, your drain to source voltage is greater than or equal to VGS minus VT. This VGS minus VT, it is called overdrive voltage. It is called overdrive voltage. So, this is the operating conditions for different region of operation. So, these conditions are important, because if we need to design an amplifier, then we have to make sure that the MOSFET should be in saturation. For that, your drain to source voltage should be greater than or equal to VGS minus VT, that is the overdrive voltage. So, MOSFET in saturation region, the drain current equation is 1 by 2 Kn dash W by L VGS minus VT whole square. This Kn dash is called process transconductance parameter. This W by L is called aspect ratio. This is called aspect ratio. W is the width of the channel, L is the length of the channel, and Kn dash is mu n into COX. COX is the oxide capacitance. And what is COX? It is epsilon OX upon TOX. Epsilon OX is the permittivity of the silicon dioxide, that is equal to 3.9 into epsilon naught. And what is epsilon naught? This epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space, and the value of epsilon naught, that is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 farad per meter, fine. So, this is the drain current equation for saturation region, that you already know, you need to review it, fine. And when the MOSFET is in linear region, then the drain current equation is this one. Now, your drain current, it also depends upon VDS, and in saturation region you can see that your drain current equation, there is no VDS, there is no drain to source voltage, but that is the ideal case. Practically there is a channel length modulation, due to that your ID slightly depends upon VDS also, that is called channel length modulation. What is channel length modulation? When your VDS starts increasing, then your channel is pinched off from the drain end. You can see that now your channel is not connected to drain end, it is in fact pinched off from the drain end. So, in that case the effective channel length is reduced, it is reduced from L to L minus del L. This effect is called channel length modulation. So, when we consider this channel length modulation, then your drain current equation of the MOSFET in saturation region, it is changed. Now, there is an additional factor in the drain current equation, that is 1 plus lambda VDS. This lambda is the channel length modulation parameter. Lambda is the channel length modulation parameter. Now, you can see that your drain current, in drain current equation there is a VDS, because practically there will be channel length modulation, there will be lambda. Now, what is the output resistance of MOSFET? It is simple, your del ID upon del VDS inverse. So, You can see that output resistance is output voltage upon output current. So, VDS upon ID. So, from there you can relate, it is just the inverse of ID upon VDS. So, we know the equation for ID in saturation region, equation for ID in saturation region, just differentiate that equation with respect to drain to source voltage, and after differentiating just calculate this factor del ID upon del VDS and just take the inverse of that, and you will get R naught is equal to 1 plus lambda ID. Simply differentiation that you all know, fine. So, you can here you can see that if your channel length modulation parameter increases, then your output resistance of the MOSFET will decrease, it will decrease. Similarly, if your drain current increases, then also in that case your output resistance decreases. These are very basic concepts and it will help you in future when you design the circuits using MOSFET. Next is the concept of biasing in MOSFET, concept of biasing in MOSFET. So, biasing I have discussed in lecture 3, but in lecture 3 I had discussed the biasing circuits for BJT. This is the biasing for MOSFET. So, biasing is needed, this biasing is basically DC biasing. Now, try to understand that we have this input signal, for example, it is sine wave, this is your Vin, we need to amplify it, we need to amplify this sine wave. What we require? We require an amplifier. We can design amplifier using BJT, we can design amplifier using MOSFET. So, when we design amplifier using MOSFET, then we need to ensure that the MOSFET should be in saturation region. In that region, the MOSFET works as an amplifier, and your Q point, it should be in the middle of the saturation region, fine. So, the concept of biasing is we need to ensure that the operating point Q should be at the proper position. If it is not at the proper position, in that case either your positive half or negative half, it will be clipped off, that means distortion. And when we talk about amplification, then we talk about linear amplification. If we want to amplify this signal, then what we want at the output? We want at the output the amplified version of this input signal without changing the shape. The shape should not change. If the shape is changing, then information we may lose the information, that is not acceptable. There should not be any distortion at the output. The shape of the output signal, it should be similar to the shape of the input signal, that is the purpose of amplifier, fine. So, we need to ensure it, we need this biasing, DC biasing. So, whenever we design any amplifier, firstly we do the biasing. Biasing means we just ensure that the operating point is at proper location, your MOSFET is in saturation. Once biasing is cleared, then we apply that input signal. This is just the process which I am discussing. Then when we apply that input signal, that input signal gets amplified without any distortion, that is desirable. So, in biasing we ensure that the drain current, it should not change due to the variation in the temperature. If there is a small variation in W by L ratio, your ID should not change. If your drain current gets changed, then your operating point will be shifted, then in that case the distortion may come at the output. So, in order to just remove these problems, we do the biasing. So, there are different biasing techniques available in MOSFET. So, you can compare the biasing using BJT with biasing using MOSFET, fine. Once you understand the biasing in BJT, you can easily understand the biasing in MOSFET also. Now, you can compare that. In BJT we had studied the biasing by fixing VB, that is your base to emitter voltage. That base to emitter in BJT becomes gate to source voltage in MOSFET. The next technique is biasing by fixing VG, there by fixing VB, that is base voltage, here that is gate voltage, and connecting a resistance in the source. So, this biasing technique we have also learned in BJT. In that particular circuit, we have connected a resistor at the emitter terminal. Here we connect the resistor at the source terminal, and the purpose is same, that we will discuss. Next is biasing using drain to gate feedback resistor. Again the same thing. In BJT we have studied this biasing circuit, biasing using collector to base. Here it is drain to gate. The concept is same, the purpose is same, only the device has changed from BJT to MOSFET. Next is biasing using constant current source. We simply connect a constant current source at the emitter terminal. In BJT, in MOSFET we connect this current source at the source terminal of the MOSFET, fine. So, the techniques are same, the concept is same, fine, but we need to review it, fine. So, the first technique is biasing by fixing VGS. Now, you can see that your on x axis there is a gate to source voltage, on y axis there is a drain current ID, and obviously we will talk about saturation region in MOSFET. In BJT we talk about active region of BJT, here we talk about saturation region. In saturation region we know this equation, drain current. So, what happens when the device is changed from device 1 to device 2, and both the devices are matched devices are similar. Matched and similar means your mu n is same, your Cux is same, your W by L is same, but again the ideal case. If the temperature is changed, then your mu n can change, your Vt can change, because your mu n and Vt is the threshold voltage, mu n is the mobility of the electron, it is a temperature dependent parameter. If the temperature changes, then mu n and Vt will change, and if mu n in and Vt changes, then your drain current will change. Again the same thing, we need to fix this drain current, we need to fix this drain current, that is why we are doing this biasing, that is why we are studying this biasing. So, the problem of this biasing by fixing VGS is that we can fix VGS, fine, your VGS is fixed, but if your temperature changes, then very easily you can see that your drain current change, your mu n mobility will change, your threshold voltage can change, even in the fabrication your W by L may change slightly. So, your drain current is going to change, that is why you can see that there is a change in drain current here in the graph. By changing the drain current, you can see that that is the issue, the drain current should be constant, it should not change, otherwise your bias point will shift it. If it is shifted, then again the distortion will come. So, it is not a good technique. Similarly, in BJT also I had discussed this. In BJT, biasing by fixing VB, that is also not a good technique, because that technique again it is totally dependent upon temperature. We do not want our circuit performance should change due to the variation in temperature, it should be constant. Next biasing is the biasing by fixing Vg and connecting a resistance in the source. See, it is a voltage divider circuit, and we can fix this gate voltage Vg very easily with the help of voltage divider, and what will be the value of gate voltage Vg? By the help of voltage divider you can calculate it, it is Rg2 upon Rg1 plus Rg2 into VDD. It means that your supply voltage is fixed, your resistors are fixed, so your Vg will be fixed. So, you have fixed the gate voltage Vg, but here the difference is that we have connected this resistor Rs at the source terminal. So, we have done it in lecture 3 also, there we have connected Re at the emitter terminal, here we have connected Rs at the source terminal, and the purpose is same, the purpose is to provide negative feedback. How it provides? Now, see, this is your drain current ID, that is flowing through drain resistance RD. Now, see, if due to any reason your drain current ID increases, fine, if drain current ID increases, then of course your source current will also increase, because in MOSFET your gate current is in MOSFET your drain current is equal to source current, fine, because the gate current is 0, gate current is 0 in MOSFET, fine. The reason is because there is a insulator layer, there is a SiO2 layer, and that is the advantage of this device MOSFET in comparison with BJT. In BJT there is some base current that depends upon the doping of the base terminal, fine, but in MOSFET since there is a SiO2 layer, so this gate current is 0, that is acts as a insulator. So, the advantage is that when we apply the input signal at the gate terminal, so it sees higher input resistance, that is a good for voltage amplifier, fine. So, if ID increases, then of course, your drain current is equal to source current, we normally write drain current only. So, your source voltage will increase, if your source voltage increases, then your gate to source voltage will be reduced, because if your source voltage increases, then you can see that gate voltage minus source voltage, VGS is nothing but your VG minus Vs. If Vs increases, then your VGS will decrease, and if VGS decreases, then your ID will be reduced. So, the point is that if the ID had increased, then ID will decrease automatically because of the negative feedback action performed by this source resistance Rs. That is why this source resistance Rs, we say that it provides negative feedback. It provides negative feedback that stabilizes the drain current. Ultimately, the aim of the biasing is to stabilize the drain current. We have to stabilize the drain current. The drain current should not change, operating point should be fixed, fine. So, that is the advantage of this particular biasing technique. It provides negative feedback, it stabilizes the biasing point, it stabilizes the drain current. Next technique is biasing using drain to gate feedback resistor. In drain to gate feedback resistor, we connect a resistance Rg in between the gate terminal and the drain terminal, and we have already studied this kind of circuit in lecture 3, fine. In that particular class, just the device was BJT and this resistance Rg, there we had represented this Rg with RB, fine. The whole concept is same, again this the purpose of connecting this Rj is it provides negative feedback. You can verify this negative feedback action by the method which I have already explained. That is the advantage of this biasing using drain to gate feedback resistor. Next biasing technique is biasing using constant current source. Now, you can see that in this technique we have connected a current source at the source terminal, fine. This is the drain resistance Rd, and this current source is nothing but a current mirror. The internal circuit is the current mirror. In current mirror, what we do? We take two MOSFETs Q1 and Q2, and the VGS of both the MOSFETs should be same. The VGS of Q1 and Q2 should be same. That is why the gate of both the MOSFET and the source terminal of both the MOSFET are shorted, and your Q1 should be diode connected. Your Q1 should be diode connected. What is diode connected? Diode connected transistor means when we short gate and drain terminal of any MOSFET, then it acts as a diode, and in that case this diode connected transistor it will always be in saturation region. This shorting of gate and drain terminal of Q1 is very important, because of this shorting your output current is tracking the input current. It is called current mirror because the output current is equal to input current, because the for Q1 and Q2 the gate to source voltage is same. So, the current will be same. If there is a change in input current, it will be followed at the output because of this shorting of gate and drain terminal of Q1 transistor. So, this is the current mirror circuit, this is the basic current mirror circuit using MOSFET, fine. So, this current mirror topic we will study in detail in unit 4. So, in biasing using constant current source, it is a very popular technique. We normally use this biasing technique in discrete circuits, fine. And there is a, you can see that there is a resistance connected at the gate terminal, that is Rg, that is very high. The significance of this resistor is when we apply the input signal at the gate terminal, then if Rg is high, then the input resistance will be high. If we are not applying the input signal at the gate terminal like in common gate amplifier, then there is no need of this Rg resistor, fine. So, in this class I have just reviewed the MOSFET, what is MOSFET, what are the different reasons of operations of MOSFET, what is the condition and different characteristics of MOSFET, drain current versus drain to source voltage graph, drain current versus gate to source voltage graph, then what is channel length modulation, and after that what is biasing, what is the need of biasing, and what are the different techniques available in the MOSFET to do the DC biasing. Out of these 4 techniques, one technique, that is the biasing, in that particular biasing we have connected the resistor at the source terminal, that provides the negative feedback, it is used, and another technique which is very popular, that is the biasing using constant current source, that utilizes the current mirror as a current source. This is the reference. Thank you.